In these next four examples, we'll look at applying u-substitution to trig integration. So here we have the cosine of 4x dx. I'm going to let u equal 4x, which means that du equals 4 dx, or a fourth of du equals dx. So this becomes the cosine, 1/4 the cosine of u du, and when we integrate this, we'll get 1/4 the sine of u plus c, and converting back to be in terms of x, we know that it's 1/4 the sine of 4x plus c, using u-substitution. Let's consider the next example. Example 14 is finding the integral of 3 times the sine of 1 minus 3x dx, and hopefully you can already start to see what will be beneficial to call u. In this case, if u is 1 minus 3x, then du is equal to negative 3 dx, and if we multiply both sides by negative 1, then negative du equals 3 dx. So now we can put everything in terms of u, and this will be negative sine u du. The integral of negative sine is cosine, so we've got the cosine of u plus c, but remember we want this in terms of x, so we've got the cosine of 1 minus 3x plus c. Two more trig examples. Here we have sine cubed x cosine x dx. We'd like to integrate that. What I see is I know that if I took the derivative of sine, I would get cosine. So if I let u equal sine x, then du equals cosine x dx, which means in terms of u, this is the integral of u cubed du, and that we can integrate. That would be 1/4 u to the 4th plus c, and converting everything back to x, this is 1/4 of sine to the 4th x plus c. Our final example on this round of u-substitution in trig, we've got the integral of tangent of 10x times the secant of 10x, and this looks an awful lot like what I would get if I were to take the derivative of a secant function. So in this case, if we let u equal 10x, then du equals 10 dx, or 1/10 of du equals dx. So I just need to integrate tangent u secant u du, and I know that that is just the secant of u plus c, but u is 10x, so this must have been, oops, I forgot the 1/10 though. Let's go back, I made a mistake in my hurriedness. This should have been 1/10 tangent u secant u, and the integral of that would be 1/10 secant u plus c, so we've got 1/10 secant of 10x plus c. We've got one last video of examples. There's 3 examples involving trig integration and u-substitution.